to another crisp and brisk Prairie Says the Ranch Farm vlog. I'm Aaron, and thank you for tuning in, my friends. Winter has really set in here out the prairies. It is cold. Last night it hit minus 38 Celsius with the wind chill factor, so it's cold. It is winter out here, but we're supposed to be sliding into the warmer digits coming up next week, so we're supposed to hit 0, -3, etc. So looking forward to that for sure. But we got some pretty alarming news. We got our livestock, our cattle feed, all the bales we made, the oats and the barley bales, we got the test results back, and I was quite surprised. I'm a little alarmed, and just I was a little bit caught off guard with the dangers of some of the feed we made. So I want to touch base as to our lab analysis of that cattle feed we made this late summer, early fall, I guess. Really shocking, some of it. And I did make a boo-boo. I made a oopsie there. I actually fed a few of the bales up, and I probably shouldn't have. So I'm going to touch base on those values, and I want to go over these lab results, and I want to point out to you guys and girls what to look for. We're going to look at the 3-4 most popular, or most not popular, the 3-4 most important factors when deciphering those feed analysis tests. So if you're unfamiliar with them, I'll just briefly touch base how to look at them and what you're looking for test feed values. So it's not too complicated if you know what you're looking for, and we got a few other things to do in between there. So that's enough chit chat, Aaron. Let's pitter patter and get at her. Woo! Well, before I do anything, I want to go check my water bowls. It was so cold last night. You gotta check them. I got the heaters going. Everything's blazing on all of them. I left them. I preemptively kept everything on because out here the weather just changes so fast. We usually don't have trouble with our Richie, our little water bowl, but you know, sometimes we have issues. But I've souped her up pretty good, insulated. I had her rewired there last year, so it should be okay. But first and foremost, we'll check that one out. So cold, this old girl didn't want to start. I should have had it plugged in. I didn't plug the block heater in last night. I don't know why. These maniacs going hard and heavy at their bale. Oh, the sheep made a yellow brick road all the way to their water. Cattle will be back here. This will be all hammered down, I'm sure. It's nice and warm. Yeah, I have to come back, clean that out. Very nice. That water bowl is great. I love that Richie water. The big water's good because we have lots of animals on the other side that use the same water bowl for the sheep. The heifers and the young cows and their calves on this side, it's a perfect size. Keep up to them, no problem. Well, if you like Prairie Says the Ranch Farm vlog videos, please show your support and hammer that thumbs up. I'll give you a second. I promise it's free. Boom, you did it. You're the best. Let's get on with the show. Woo! Now, the big water is the one that's scary. It's caused us some problems. I know I've touched base on it last year a little bit, but it's caused some issues with oh, I'm gonna show you what I don't like about it. I already got the tractor started, the loader tractor. I like to give it a good run before I use it, especially in this cold weather. This is where I stop. I don't feel like getting stuck out here. It's nice and steamy and dreamy. It's nice and warm in here. I don't think I need the net. Anyways, I do like this water. As you can tell in the middle there, where I got the heater coming out of, it does stay warm from warmth from the ground. It has a center casing there, plastic casing. All my electronics are in between there. So you got to seal that off, but you do get some condensation if you don't do it right. Now, I had the receptacle in there changed. Thank you, TK Electric. He also wired up our other water bowl. But in there, you do get some moisture, and God help if you ever get a leak or a water leak some type. I'm not crazy about having everything inside there. I wish it was at a different location, where the water is fantastic. This keeps up to the calf lot when we have the calves here, and all the different groups of animals. No problem, it's huge. But you got to keep an eye on it, you know. Got to make sure everything, those electronics inside there take a lot of abuse from that harsh, moist environment it's in. Put a new heater in every year. I don't reuse a heater because I've had them go usually on the coldest days. Since I've been swapping them out every year, keep the old ones for the stock tanks for the horses, because we keep the horses back there once the cattle are all in this area. So it all works out pretty good. All right, peeps, let's talk feed. Big time stuff, big league. Beauty. There, just like that. If you know how to use these quick attach, they really are quick attach. But if you don't, then they're just a pain in the ass. Beautiful. Well, I'm just gonna move this heifer's feeder and put a couple new bales in, and then I want to talk to you a little bit about our feed analysis that we got back from the laboratory. All right, all you livestock producers, cattle producers, listen up. This is what the analysis told me. This is how you decipher or read those values. There's about 3 or 4 that you should be concerned with on those analysis forms. And I'll just quickly touch base on them all. You're gonna have 4 basic values you should be concerned with. This is the crude protein level, the nitrate level, the TDN, that would be the total digestible nutrients level, and the relative feed value. Relative feed value is more of just a value. It's more for marketing. You know, if you're a dairy guy, you're gonna be looking for, you know, 150 and above. Excellent feed would be considered about 100. For crude protein levels, you're going to be looking at alfalfa. Good alfalfa will be about your 18%. That would be some excellent alfalfa, right? So when you're looking at crude protein levels for cattle in particular, kind of think of it like this. For a crude protein level for a cow prior to calving, early gestation, you're going to be looking at least a 7% protein value. For that cow, for those cows. Once they get closer to calving, before calving, the closer in they get, you're going to want to look for a value of around 9 to 10% crude protein from that feed to keep things going proper. Once that cow calves and is lactating, you're going to want to get 12% and above. So you're going to be looking at good quality feed for that cow to keep up to her and her calves' nutritional needs and requirements. So now the TDN, you'll see a TDN value on the analysis. That's the total digestible nutrients. Basically, it is the sum of digestible fiber, protein, lipids, and carbohydrates. So your fats, carbohydrates, all that. So anything at a 60 and up TDN is like rocket fuel. So that would probably be more like your corn, for example. You know, lots of energy in it, lots of good stuff. Now, when you're looking at good quality feed, a lot of producers, I guess I'm speaking more like dairy in reference to a dairy guy. If you're going, they need high quality feed. So we're gonna use that as an example. They're gonna be using the 20, 30, 40 rule. So basically they look for 20% protein. They're looking at 30% neutral detergent fiber, and they're looking at 40% acid detergent fiber. So this will identify a really good feed. If you're close to those numbers in those categories, then you're probably set. This is probably, if you're at those numbers or above, you're probably looking at dairy quality feed for your animals. Now that we talked briefly about those different categories. Let's take a look at my report. Let's see what's going on with my feed. Anyways, here are the values. So as you can see, this feed has really good crude protein. It's 18.27. That's like a really good alfalfa. So I'm happy with that. It has a lot of protein in it. But the nitrates, look at the nitrates. 1.16. 0.5 and under is safe. So I am I'm greatly over the safe range. 1.16, 0.5 is the safe range. So that's why I was so alarmed. I'll tell you what, I've been checking on the cattle. I've been walking around them every day, twice a day, just to make sure I don't see anything lethargic, nothing breathing heavy. I haven't seen anything. I really am worried about the cows. The calves can actually take a lot more nitrates than a cow. The calves, for some reason, can, I guess, dissipate the negative effects of nitrates better than a full-grown cow or bovine. So if you're unfamiliar with what sample this is these are the bales that I saved with salt that I fed up a couple of videos ago that turned out really well. Yeah, this is that feed. So I fed a couple of these bales up. I've been keeping an eye on the girls. I think I fed 3 altogether, and they were still fed up when there's grasses, so they were grazing in between. Plus, I did mix with wild hay, so I don't think I did any damage. But obviously, I'm not feeding them up anymore. Aaron, what are nitrates? Nitrates can be consumed by the cattle and converted to nitrites in the rumen of the cattle, which is rapidly absorbed by that cow's bloodstream. Animals can die within a few hours, 8, 12 hours after, or you can get toxic levels built up. So you have to keep an eye on certain signs and symptoms. Cattle are very vulnerable to nitrate poisoning. Sheep aren't as affected by it. They can get away with a lot more. So can the calves. Calves can actually get away with a lot more than the mature or adult cows. But you're going to be looking for things like tremors, shortness of breath, lethargic, frothing at the mouth, salivation, just a general lethargic look to the animal, not lively. In the early stages, the animals could look as if they're drunk, for lack of a better term. But you know, it'll be very apparent to you there are changes in the animal. If you have any of those signs and symptoms, I would definitely check into nitrate poisoning. Well, I could get into it quite in depth, but I'm not gonna. Nitrate poisoning will basically cause the animal to go into a state of hypoxia. That bloodstream of the animal isn't going to be carrying that oxygenated blood to the body like it's used to. It stops or eliminates or decreases the amount of oxygen being carried to the body of that cow or cattle or livestock. So basically, you know, you can lose, you know, tails, ear tips, distal portions to the animal. So those are all just little tips. I don't want to get into it fully in depth. I did in a couple videos, a few videos ago, I think in the summer. So I might leave that in the end card or in mid-roll for you guys to click on if you're interested in nitrates, ergats, and all that stuff. If you are in an area that has been in touch with drought, or you are drought stricken, your crops are struggling, please get your feed test done. It is such cheap insurance. I was shocked by this. I could have done a lot of damage. Hey, if I would have went and fed one of those bales up every day, who knows where I'd be right now. My herd could be on life support. Now here's a really interesting one. Well, besides that, oats having those high nitrates, this is really interesting. This is the barley I made. So my barley has lower protein, 10.87. It was made more mature, so it was more aged, aged for flavor. Our nitrate levels are only 0.07, so I have no worries there. Our acid detergent fiber is 22.86, and the neutral detergent fiber is 38.84 with a relative feed value of 170. So what basically, if you go by like the crude protein, what you're looking for numbers, this is going to be before calving feed. This isn't a during. It doesn't have enough protein for the cows, once they're lactating and give birth. But this is a good feed for before going into calving. So we're going to start feeding these up pretty early. Then we're going to switch over to some alfalfa, some higher protein. We're going to want to be above that 12% protein mark once they have those calves. So you can see you kind of work your feed up through the levels appropriately. So if you are in Manitoba, you got your feed analysis report done and you have questions how to decipher it or read it, feel free to reach out to a Manitoba Ag Rep specialist. They're trained, educated in this department. And for example, I'm going to be talking to one. I'm talking to one about feeding up that oats forage of mine. So you can call 1-844-769-6224 and ask to speak to a livestock ag feed specialist, and they'll be able to help you out with your ration. Now, if you are a subscriber of mine or a viewer and you're watching this from Manitoba, you can go to Central Laboratory Limited in Winnipeg. They're off Lagimodi Boulevard. Their phone number is 1-204-237-9128. And you can ask them any questions about testing, what you have to do, etc. But for simplicity reasons, our tests were $64. I think the government's going to cover some, majority, if not all that. I'm not sure what the deal is, but for $64, it's cheap insurance. Watch it, watch. Hey, move, 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 move. Hey, 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 move, move. We came out here to check. Look. Yeah, there's a little pinhole. So, do some of this. On these creases, there's little holes giving way. Damn it. There. Well, not sure where those came from. I drove through here yesterday. I checked it almost every day. Look at this. Top there. Look at all these little holes. Birds. Looks like it. Damn birds, little peck marks, you can tell. Well, there you go. On portions of them, so I got to keep my eye on this closely. Well, we patched up with that tuck tape some of those holes in that silage wrap. It looks like a little bird pecked a whole bunch of holes in that one pile. The other piles look good, but for some reason it picked on that pile. So I think we patched up most of the parts and put up some snow along the edge, so it should be okay. She's our oldest sheep on the farm. She doesn't have many teeth left, but she maintains condition and she's still living a good life, so we keep her around. We'll let her retire here. Just dropped the sheep a new bale here. They're looking in really good shape. But this is the kind of feed they get. Sheep are not cheap to feed. You gotta feed them good. If you want them to look half decent, for example, that's a lamb right there. That's a lamb, the black one. This is Fuzz. This is our pet Fuzz. There's a lamb, lamb, lamb. So you can see the lambs are nice shape. Don't mind the deer pelt. My dogs are chewing on it. But to grow a lamb, I'd say they're probably in the 90 to 100 pound range. Pretty close, especially that white one. But to grow a lamb like that, you consistently need feed like this, and to keep them in good condition. You know, they're all in really good condition, but this is what they're eating, for example. So they're eating alfalfa hay. So you can get an idea how we keep them in good condition. So if we fed a cow this, the cows would be so fat, you'd have big calves. Sure, you'd lose calves, they'd be so big. But you'd have those big cows in there eating nonstop. But them, they're a little different. We feed them pretty good all the time because they can't get out of condition. But we do try to rotate. So I'm gonna try to rotate this bale. The next bale will be a little bit poorer. But by poor, you can't give them too rough of a bale. They just won't eat it. They'll lose condition quick. So if you want these sheep to maintain condition, you got to feed them good. So we usually go one mediocre bale, one really nice bale like this, and then we'll go with a poor bale. When I'm giving them a poor bale, every couple days I'll try to give them a little bit of extra. Either I have a lick tub out, or I have a little bit of oats, something a little extra, just to keep the ones that are more picky in better condition. But sheep are, we do like the sheep. We wouldn't have them on the farm if we didn't like them. We might grow the flock a little bit in the next little while if we have some normal hay years coming up. But we do like the sheep. These are all natural. Now, believe me or not, they haven't been dewormed in about 1.5 years. Maybe longer, but there isn't many of them. They got a big area, so we're not overcrowding them. These haven't been dewormed. The lambs have not been dewormed. So, for example, you can tell there's no worm issues here. There's no worm issues. Probably majority of them have worm resistance, but these are all from our original sheep that came on this farm years ago when we had close to 500 of them. So they're all a Suffolk breed, crossbreed. This guy obviously has some hair sheep in him, some Dorper it looks like. But all in all, you see how they like this bale. They like to go up high. In the spring, when they're lambing, I'll make the bales smaller. I won't give them such a big bale because they like to stand up, like you saw that one, and eat. And sometimes they prolapse. They can cause issues. So we keep the bales lower down, smaller half bales we feed up, so they're not jumping up to get over top. But there you go. Just to touch base on these lambs and our sheep and how we feed them. But they are expensive to feed. They get the best hay on the farm next to the calves, that's for sure. Beautiful lambs. Look at these lambs. Beautiful looking. Fuzz. Are you just a fuzzy bugger? Are you just a fuzzy bugger? Hopefully like this minus 38 Celsius weather, I am done. I am throwing in the towel. This is Aaron signing off. We will catch you next weekend with an all new Prairie Sunset Ranch farm vlog. Be there or be square, my friends. Bye for now. Have a fantastic week.